In proportional cultural significance as the Osun-Osogbo festival is the Igue festival of the Benin Kingdom. Many centuries ago, long before the coming of the white man, the Edo people of the Benin Kingdom, known for their mastery of bronze casting, never ceased to amaze the world as they continue to protect their tradition, keeping it unique and giving the world insight to how they lived many centuries ago. There are varied claims to the origin of Benin, but one thing is clear: the political system and customs of the Beninese were already well established by the 14th century. The expansion of the Benin Empire dates back to a period long before the first European written reports were made in the 15th century. At the height of its expansion, Ling Roth, a British anthropologist, became the first to refer to the empire as the Great Benin Empire in the 18th century. Most of the greatness of the Benin Empire can be attributed to Oba Eware the Great.
In Benin parlance, we say, Igue Obase. That's okay, it's just like to say he's the last Oba of Benin.
Oba Eware was the greatest warrior legend and the most outstanding king in the history of the Benin Empire. But his ascendancy to the throne was not a smooth tale.
He was a great mystic. Being an Oba, having passed through a lot of difficulties as a prince, that actually groomed him to become a very great Oba.
On ascending to the throne, he revolutionized the kingship system in Benin and introduced the Uguakbata hairstyle to differentiate the chiefs.
It means the style of our hair as a traditional chief. Not just traditional chief, title chief. You know, if you are a chief in the palace of the Oba, you don't just have the right to do it without the consent of the Oba. But in some areas you still find village heads. In Benin we call them Ojonwere. Those are the representatives of the Oba. They represent the Oba in their various villages. So they are also entitled to wear the hairstyle.
During his struggles to gain the throne, Oba Eware vowed to propitiate his head and give thanks to his ancestors with a major spiritual event if he gained the throne. This is the genesis of the modern Igue festival, which started in 1443.
He said if he stays on the throne for 3 years, then we must perform Igue. It is anointing. Igue means anointing. 3 years after he was still there, then he now declared Igue.
Since then, Igue festival has become an annual event in Edo land, observed by the Oba of Benin and the Edo people to mark the end of a year and to celebrate the beginning of a new one.
It started, yes, with Oba Eware to be celebrated when, at the time, the Oba ascends the throne. Oba Akinzwa II changed that whole situation. Let it coincide with the end of the year.
To the Beninese, the Igue festival is sacred and has been treated as such until the invasion of Benin by the British during the festival in 1896 and the capture of Oba Ovorame in 1897. Between 1897 and 1918, Igue was not celebrated, and the repercussion for the Beninese was an outbreak of influenza epidemics, which Oba Eweka II attributed to the non-observance of the Igue festival. Oba Akinzwa II, who ascended the throne in 1933, restored Igue festival to its full glory and importance in the life of the Edo-speaking people of Benin. Igue festival is made up of many colorful ceremonies, which symbolizes the people's culture, history, and traditional heritage. One of such ceremonies is the Ugueron, a reenactment of the history of Benin people. Ugueron is the celebratory reenactment of the triumph of Oba of Benin over the Uzama, the 7 hereditary chiefs. There is also Uguemobo ceremony, and on the day of the ceremony, the Oba is escorted out of the palace by warrior archers amid singing and dancing. He sits inside a tent in front of the palace as the chiefs come to pay homage. To commence the rites, the chief priest strikes the drum for the Ewini traditional music to be played. The Oba then proceeds to offer prayers for the continued peace in the land. After the prayers, the Oba is escorted back to the palace. The highlight of the Igue festival is the Ugue, the Day of Peace, which is the grand finale of the Igue festival.
The importance of the Igue is to signal blessings to every homes.
On the Ugue Day, the Ihogbe's, led by the Isekure, presents the Ewere peace leaves to the Oba. The Igue Festival is one of the most culturally refreshing events in Nigeria, whose tenets has not been totally lost with the sands of colonization.